Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share this DIY with you guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made these adorable sock gnomes using items I found at my Dollar Tree. They are just so cute. They look like little lucky leprechauns, and I'm just so excited to share them with you. But before we get started, if you guys are new here, I would love to have you subscribe and join us, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. All right, let's get started. So I'm starting off with these little leprechaun socks that I found at the Dollar Tree. They honestly had a very wide selection of socks, so there are so many to choose from, but I thought that these were the cutest. And you want to make sure you're getting the longer knee-high socks, because one sock will equal one gnome, so you want to make sure you do not get the ankle socks. These ones work perfectly. So I'm just going to start off by cutting mine right at the heel and just cut it right across. We're going to be using the top pieces later on, so just put those to the side for now, and we're going to get started with our bodies. So to start off, we want to weigh down our bodies so they can sit upright, and I'm just going to be using poly pellets for this, but if you do not have these, do not worry, you can definitely pick something up from the Dollar Tree, like either one of these pebbles. But like I said, I already have these, so I'm just going to be filling up the bottom with them. You just want enough so it weighs it down a bit so it can stand upright all by itself without tumbling over. So I'm just putting in a little scoop into both of them, and now next I'm going to be stuffing them. So I'm going to be using some polyfill for this, but again, you can definitely use something that you can find at the Dollar Tree. So you can repurpose some old stuffing from a pillow, or you could just pick up a bag of cotton balls from the Dollar Tree, and that would work perfectly for this as well. And today I'm making two gnomes, a little boy and a little girl gnome, so that is why I'm filling up two of these little bodies here. So you'll see you just want to go right up to the top, but leave a small section because we do need to tie this off and secure it. So once you have your bodies filled up, you can just take a rubber band, or I just had this string on hand. This is some twine from the Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to be using this today. So you just want to tie it nice and tight, put a knot into it, and then trim off that extra string. And now I'm just going to pull the rest of that sock upright and just trim it right above where I tied it off, because we don't need all that extra sock up top. And then I just repeated that same process for my second gnome. So I'm just going to place the one body to the side for now so I can get started on my boy gnome. And for his beard, I'm going to be using this beautiful burnt orange colored yarn that I found at the Dollar Tree. So they have a beautiful selection of yarn that I'm absolutely loving. And I've never done a yarn beard before, so I definitely wanted to give that a try today. And I wanted to make this DIY super easy, and I wanted all of the materials to be really easy to get, so that's why I went with this yarn today. So to make the beard, I'm just starting off by holding a piece of yarn in my finger and just wrapping it around my four fingers a bunch of times. Then I'm just going to carefully slide it off my fingers and just cut the top across. And you'll see you will have a ton of strands in no time. So this is going to be for his beard. So I'm just going to repeat the same process 2 more times. This process is so quick, and you will have all the strands that you need in a matter of a minute. So now I'm going to move on to attaching my beard. So for this, I'm just going to be taking some hot glue and just putting a bit of hot glue at the top of my body here. And then I'm going to take a small handful of that yarn and start to very carefully press it into the hot glue. But you want to make sure you're being very careful here, because if you press too hard, you might get burned with that hot glue. So just take your time and just kind of push your strands in. And then when I had my first layer done, I just put some more hot glue on top, and then just put some more hair on top of that just to fill it in and make it a little bit thicker. Once the beard is all on, you just want to give it a little bit of time to dry, and then you can trim it up a little bit. So here I'm just making sure that everything is nice and even on the bottom, and then I started to shape it a little bit. So you'll see here I'm kind of giving it a U shape at the bottom, so I just tapered the sides a little bit, and then I went in and kind of gave him some layers, if that makes sense. I just wanted the beard to look like it had a little bit of movement, so I just cut some of the front pieces a little bit shorter, just so you can see a little bit more definition. Now we're just going to take that top part of the sock that we cut off earlier, and I'm just trimming it right across the bottom so it is nice and even. And then you're going to see here I'm flipping that raw edge inward, so that way when we put this on top of our gnome for his hat, you will not see that raw cut edge at all. So once that is hidden, you can just place it on top of your gnome's head as his little hat. And you just want to pull it down the back and just situate it so it looks nice. And for his nose, I'm going to be using this wood bead that I already had at home today. But if you do not have any wood beads, do not worry. There are so many things at the Dollar Tree that you could use instead. They definitely have wood beads at the Dollar Tree, but you might have to paint them, or you can even use a pom-pom for this. So I'm just putting a little bit of hot glue just to secure it there. You just want to place it kind of half under the hat. And I just kind of glued it under my hat, and then once it was all situated, I just went around the entire hat with some hot glue just to make sure it was secured down and would not pop off. Next, I'm just going to be taking some more of that polyfill, just a little bit, to fill up my hat. And again, you can definitely use cotton balls for this. And then once you have a little bit of polyfill in there, just to make sure that it stands upright, you just want to secure it. So I'm using more of that Dollar Tree twine just to tie a nice little knot, and then I just trimmed it. And you could definitely leave it like this, but I'm going to be trimming off the rest of the sock up top just so it looks a little bit neater. So he is almost done. We're going to finish him off at the end, but I'm just going to place him to the side for now, and I'm going to get started on my girl gnome. So the process for her hair is very similar to the beard, so you just want to hold a piece of that yarn in your hand, wrap it around a bunch of times, and then just cut right across. And I'm also going to be repeating this process 2 more times until I have a big bundle of hair. Once you have all of your yarn cut for her hair, you're going to want to divide it in half because we're going to kind of give her 2 braided pigtails today. So for her hair, you just want to put a little bit of hot glue on one side of your body here. And I'm just going to be taking some yarn and just very carefully pushing it into that wet hot glue. And again, be very careful to not burn your fingers here. So I'm just taking my time and taking small pieces here and just pushing them in. And then you'll see that I did put some more hot glue on top of it just to give it a bit of a thicker look by layering it a little bit. This is how it looked when my one side was done. So now I'm just going to be repeating that exact process on the other side. So here she is with her 2 sides of hair. And now I'm just going to be gluing another wood bead on for a little nose. But like I said, you could definitely use a pom-pom for this. So for hers, I'm just kind of situating it in the center there. And now we're going to repeat that same process that we did earlier for the hat. So I'm just trimming off that bottom part to make it nice and even. And then I just folded that raw edge inward. And then I'm just going to be placing this over her head like a hat. Once the hat is all situated, you just want to secure it with some more hot glue. So I'm just starting off with putting some on her nose. And then I'm just going to go around her entire head with some more hot glue just to make sure that hat is nice and secure and will not pop off. Now I'm just taking a little bit more of that polyfill just to fluff up her hat. And then once I got that all in there, I'm just going to be tying it off with some twine. But for this one, I did tie it in a little bit of a bow just because I thought it looked cute for her. But you can definitely just knot it and trim off the extra string. And then I did just trim off the top part of the sock there just to finish it off. And now, of course, we have to style her hair. So I thought it would look really cute to give her 2 braids. So I just did a very classic braid down the side here, and then when I got to the bottom, I just took more of that twine just to secure her braid, but you can definitely use a rubber band for this. And then once it was all tied and secured, I did go in with some scissors just to trim her ends to make sure that they were perfectly neat and tidy. Here is my first braid all done, and I'm just going to be repeating the same process on the other side. Here she is with her hair complete. I think she is looking really cute, and you can definitely stop here, but I had to add this last step because I thought it looked so cute. So I picked up these little 4-leaf clover gold coins from the Dollar Tree, and I just took a little bit of hot glue on the back and just stuck them to the top of their hats, and I really do think it just finished it off and made it look so cute. And I just love these guys. I think they're really adorable. They just are so festive for St. Patrick's Day, and they just look like lucky leprechauns. So you definitely cannot go wrong with this DIY. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one today, and if you did, please do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, I would love to have you join us by subscribing, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching.